I'm trying.
I want to make you a class prefect. What do you think?
It will be a privilege. I will try my best.
Okay. I will announce it during the class.
Okay, thank you.
So, anyway, you are welcome. Hare Krishna.
Sita Prema Prabhu, Dandavat Pranama Glusis Confada Shari Prabhu.
So, glory to your little feet.
So, we welcome the students that are already there while others are coming. So you can,
okay,
so go ahead.
We can just start Jayarada Mandava because the time is actually, I think today we can get a little more time in front, isn't it?
Well, the ball is in your court now.
Since your Bhakti Vaibhav is starting 1 hour later. So we can
enjoy.
If you are ready for us to go about 30 minutes into the front, then we can start to chant play Prabhupada.
My time, but no problem. Kavi is there, you will manage if I have to go.
Play Prabhupada bhajan for us, I beg small. Hare Krishna.
It's okay.
Okay. Bhakti Marvel. Hare Krishna. Okay, your audio is connecting now. It's not properly connected. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Oh, should I start to chant Yarada Madhava directly now?
Wait. I don't know. I will have to restart it again. Just a second.
Please, everybody, bear with us. So we are in the online world now. So there are many advantages. There are also some unavoidable distractions like that. So just bear with us. We tolerate everything and best take advantage of the positive side. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Banachari. Vallabha Girivaradhari
Sastri Radha Krishna Bho Gopinath Sam Kund Radha Kund Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Navadip Dham ki jai, Ganga Mai ki jai, Jamuna Mai ki jai, Guru Dwarka Dham ki jai, Swami Bhakti ki jai, all glories to God. All glories to God. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Om Ajnana Timrandasya Ajnana Salakaya Chachnumalita Yena Tasmai Sri Prabhu Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistan Savitayana Bhutali Sriyam Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantika Mukam Karoti Vashalam Pangum Langyate Grim Yarkripatara Bandi Sri Guru Dinataram Panchakapatara Vyacha Kripasin Vyasavacha Patitana Bhavanebhu Vaishnava Vivanam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadeva Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Vanchakapatara Vyacha Kripasin Vyasavacha Patitana Pavanabhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namo. Okay, so we welcome everyone to today's session. We've noticed that the ladies are more prompt this time. The ladies are more prompt. That is a good record for them. We are happy. But we also implore the men to wake up on time. They should be coming on time, except for Stephen Govinda, who is representing them. Represent them very well. And that is why you become the class prefects, because you are always prompt on time. And that is the qualification. To be prompt yourself, then you can help to manage others. So having said that, we're going to refreshing our memories about our previous discussions. First of all, we have orientation, some points about classroom norms. But I think we should talk about them when more students are there. Yes, when we get more students, we remind them about some of the classroom norms. So for now, we leave that one aside first. But we can just start with a recap of
about this marvelous. She's finding it difficult to get audio. I don't think she know how to get the audio.
Okay, then give a suggestion. Okay, she cannot hear it, then what to do?
He doesn't know that she
are you getting the audio? Are you hearing us?
You cannot hear because the audio is not on.
Okay,
She doesn't know how to press.
So what does it do? What should it do? She should go back, she should log out, then start to come in again. Kanapura, your audio is off also now.
I don't know who is have a contact there in Ghana should tell her how to do it, because unless you tell her through phone, she will not know how to do it.
Okay, but generally, how to do it for somebody who is already there but is not hearing?
Once the person enter, it will press the audio icon. Then you will see connect, like that.
Okay, even as it's there, you can connect, or you have to log out and come back.
You can connect. You just press the audio icon. Then once you press it, then she will be able to see the one that she will connect to. Okay. As I'm talking now, she's not hearing anything.
Yes. Marvelous from Enugu. Wait. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, best among the latecomers, Baula Swapriti Prabhu and Gopi Priya Prabhu. Please, you are welcome. Baula Swaprabhu, can you hear us? Hare Krishna, Mother Marvelous. Hare Krishna. I beg, please, there's some audio icon, maybe on the top right, isn't it, Kavi?
No, on the left side, you will see it on
the left side. You see some dots. You click, then you see the audio icon.
You will see mic. You will see mic.
You will see mic.
So once you click it,
have you done it? Okay. Thank you. So when you finish, you can on your video so that we see whether you are getting us or not. Hare Krishna. Okay. Hare Krishna. Bhakti Marvelous, can you hear us now?
She cannot hear.
Oh, wait. Hey. So, what is the alternative? It's already in anxiety.
Let her go out and come in. She will see it immediately she comes in.
Okay. We are sorry, we have to cope with these things.
She's getting it.
You log out and start to come all together again.
Okay. She's not here.
Log out
and come back.
Okay, let us go ahead. First of all, in our first class, we are repeating this again and again because new people are coming again, but these people, only 2 people are new. Anyway, we said that in our first discussion, we said that there are a lot of schools of thoughts in India, and specifically about 6 of them. And of all of them, the Uta Mimamsa. This is talking about Vedanta. And that is actually the conclusion of all schools of thoughts. Uta Mimamsa. And the various schools of thoughts, they all put the authority of the Vedas to authenticate their schools. And in Vedanta, we say there are two schools of thought. One is Dvaita, one is Advaita. Advaita is non-dualism. That means no difference between the soul and Brahman. It's just I don't know if there is a way you can help her, because I can't, she still cannot log in. Distracting me. Distracting me. After this attempt, I will not go again.
What is his problem? What exactly is the challenge he's having?
The challenge is that he is not hearing the audios. He doesn't know how to on the audio.
He should look for someone close to him. Unless you can call him on the phone from your end. Since he's in Ghana, call him on direct phone.
I already did that. I already did that. He's in Nigeria, not Ghana.
Who is that person?
Bhakti Marvelous from Enugu.
Text me a number.
Okay, that is done. Thank you very much. You can take care of that while we continue. So there we are saying that Advaita is non-dualism, Dvaita is dualism. That there's a difference between the body and matter and all that. That to reconcile these two opposing polarities, dualism and non-dualism, is the philosophy of Achintya Bheda Tattva, simultaneous oneness and different. That reconciles the two of them, and that was propounded by Sri Caitanya Prabhu. And that in Vedanta, there are three primary foundational authorities. One is Shruti, one is Smriti, and one is Nyaya. That the Shrutis refers to that which is heard. Shruti means words directly spoken by Krishna himself, without any interpretation, as they're just coming raw from Krishna himself, without any interpretation. They are called Shrutis. And the Shrutis are aparusya, they are beyond any imperfections, because they are coming directly from Krishna. But Smriti means that which is remembered. That means the great sages receive the Shrutis, then they work on it, deliberate on it, internalize it, churn it, and bring it into comprehensible level to the general people. And for that, they graduate it to primary 1, primary 2, primary 3, until university level. But they know how to gradually reach each and every audience. And this is the work done by the great sages who receive the Shrutis directly. This is very important, because if you understand this clearly, anywhere you hear the word Shruti, you know what it means. Anywhere you hear Smriti, you know what it means. It makes everything easier for you for the rest of the course. That's why I'm taking time to always pass through it. Okay. And then the Shrutis themselves and the Vedas, the Shrutis, they have three parts. One part is the Samhitas, another part is the Aranyakas, and then the last part is the Upanishads. Where we are on the part of the Upanishads. And what is the difference? The Samhitas, they generally talk about, they bring people from ordinary life, becoming life, anyhow life. They say, add God to your life. If you want to add God, then you have to start. Any desire you have, it can be fulfilled, but you add religiosity to it. Don't live any other life. Add religiosity to your life. So they teach people Kamakanda. The focus is Kamakanda. You want wealth? Okay, you should worship social authority. By that, you learn the art of accepting authority. And that gradually can help you to eventually accept the supreme authority, God. You see, the demigods are authorities on behalf of God. But once you develop the attitude of accepting authority, you have started. So they add religiosity to ordinary activities, and that is called Kamakanda. The Samhitas, all the Samhitas, they deal with that. Then the Upanishads, they focus on philosophy. And the philosophy is that they gradually negate. Oh, you want materiality, the highest place you can go is heaven. The heaven is temporary. You know, if you really want to go get satisfaction, then you have to withdraw from mundane things. They start talking about renunciation, talking about death, how death takes away everything. So from there, they gradually negate all about Kamakanda, that even though they are there relevant, but they are temporary, they cannot give maximum benefit. Therefore, come this direction. They bring you from the axis of Kamakanda gradually to the point of Bhakti. So the Upanishad therefore are transitional literatures. They transport you from the end of Kamakanda to the end of Bhakti, or to the beginning of Bhakti. So these literatures are there, the Upanishads. And the one we are dealing with, we say apart from the Upanishads, the other aspect of the Vedas is the Itihasas. The Itihasas are historical narrations like Mahabharata, Ramayana, and there's a difference between the Puranas and the Itihasas. That the Itihasas are specific to particular lineages, like Mahabharata is specific to the Pandavas and the Kurus. Ramayana is specific to, the Raghu dynasty, Lord Ramachandra and the rest. But the Puranas, they are a combination of different historical narrations that are brought in one place. When great sages, learned people are talking, they make quotations from other planets, things that happen in other planets, in other dimensions, histories, to embellish their philosophy. And these are the Puranas. These Puranas, they can quote a lot, but they are also historical, but they are different from the Itihasas. Then the Pancharatras are the aspect that deal mainly with deity worship. So this is it. Then Nyaya is primarily on philosophy, especially Vedanta Sutra. And these 4 books we are reading, Sri Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion, they are complete. They give us Shruti, they give us Smriti, they give us Nyaya. That the Shruti that we study is Upanishad. The Smriti that we study is the Bhagavad Gita. The Nyaya that we study is the Srimad Bhagavatam. And we are saying that if you want to begin any journey, you must have a beginning where you are and where you want to go. So where you want to go, you must know it before you start your journey. So like us now, we want to attain pure devotional service. That is good. But how to get to pure devotional service is the means. The means is called sadhana, and the goal is called sadhya. Okay? We want to attain pure devotional service. We want to purify ourselves, become peaceful, and go back to God. The means to come back to Godhead is the sadhana. That the nectar of devotion and nectar of instruction tell you about this sadhana very well. No, the Sri Upanishad tell you about the sadhana. Bhagavad Gita tell you about the sadhya or the goal. But to explain about the goal, how to really get there, to explain the sadhana into detail, and to explain the goal properly, you have the nectar of devotion, whereby what is attractive about the goal, the 64 attributes of Krishna, artistic, the 64 limbs of the devotional service, and everything that you need in order to arrive there is explained in detail in nectar of devotion. So these books are all important, very, 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 very important. Sadhya and sadhana are explained. Now we come to the introduction. That was just the background. The introduction is that it is actually not part of the Upanishad, but it's a series of lectures that were composed by, the introduction itself is just one lecture that Srila Prabhupada gave in London. He gave the lecture in London. So it is not part of the Upanishad itself, but because it's very relevant, it is brought in as an introduction because it summarizes everything about the Vedas. So that is it. Now we say we are studying this thing thematically. We study the Upanishads thematically. There are themes. When you read the purpose are divided into certain themes. So we identify the themes, then we talk about them. In that way, we try to touch all the components. That the first theme is in paragraph 1 to 4, that we have 4 defects. And as we have 4 defects, we need the Vedas. As we have 4 defects, we need the Vedas. And the 4 defects are, we have limited or imperfect senses, we have the propensity to make mistake, we have the tendency to be illusioned, and we also had the propensity to cheat or the pralisa. Then the second theme is that the Vedas give some axiomatic truths. And there we went into calculating spiritual mathematics. We won't go into that now. Then the third is that Vedic knowledge is superior to Anumana and Pratyaksha. That Vedic knowledge is Shruti. It is directly coming from Krishna. But Pratyaksha means direct experience or direct evidence. What you can tackle, what you can see with the senses, what you can interpret with the senses. Then Anumana means inductive knowledge, philosophical, eliminative thinking. If this is this, then this is that. My father has a father. His father also has a father. And his father's father also has a father. Until there is one father who is God. So this kind of thinking, it can bring you to the ultimate conclusion, but it takes time and wastes a lot of time and energy. So though it is good, but it's not the best. But the best is true to just hear directly from the supreme authority. So our process is submissive oral reception. So, and Krishna is the ultimate goal of the Vedas. That is the last thing in the introduction. Then we came to invocation. In the invocation, we said that technically speaking, the invocation is also not part of the Sri Upanishad, but it is actually a standard Vedic saying, which is spoken on various occasions. When there is any serious occasion, you invoke, you make this invocation. And because it is consistent with the theme of the Sri Upanishad, it is brought in, Srila Prabhupada brought it in very aptly and positioned it at the right place because it is consistent with what we're about to discuss. So that was the expert work done by Srila Prabhupada. that the Upanishad themselves, the mantras in Upanishad, there are a series of articles that were written. That means that Prabhupada already commented on the Upanishad before he even started the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So this series of lectures were compiled by Srila Prabhupada's disciples and made them into the book called Upanishad. Srila Prabhupada did not write Sri Upanishad as a book himself, but his lectures were compiled by his disciples and they made them into the book called Sri Upanishad. Okay? Whom that sat. Okay? Let's not talk too much about this because we have a lot to do today. And it is too, if we continue with what we learned last time, it will take a lot of time. But the points are very salient. And to miss classes is very, very bad because it drags us back like this. And at the same time, you are not going to get everything yourself. But the introduction is very rich. The invocation is very rich that we took time to address it. And it is so sweet that if we go back to start address it, we spend another 30 minutes. So because of that, let us move ahead. Let us move ahead, please. So that is it. And now we are in mantra 1. Because that is too sweet that if we go back there, we start elaborating. It is so sweet that anyway, the conclusion of it is that everything that emanates from the Lord is complete because the Lord himself is complete. Nothing can be subtracted from him, nothing can be added to him. And because of that, all emanations from him, so that this material world is complete in itself. A place whereby direct supervision is not needed, direct management is not needed, but what he has put in place, the mechanism he has put in place, the design he has put in place, is managing itself automatically. Like he made man and woman, and they are procreating, they have been procreating until they procreated you and me. They continue to procreate without God directly coming to create another person. The design he made is reproducing itself. And this is not the case for only human beings, but for all species of life, including the trees. You see, until they replicated even Kabikanapura, who is eating right now. And all this ability to eat was also part of that design. And since God created it, you see that creation, the creation continues perfectly. All creations have the ability to eat. They have a mouth, they have a buccal cavity, they have the alimentary canal. When something is loaded into the mouth, it will just go straight and it goes into the container there. The container digests it and distributes the energy. This has been going on since time immemorial. You and me, we also know how to do it. So this is complete. God is complete and so perfect that his creation doesn't need strenuous supervision for it to work. It works automatically. Okay, see, this is the meaning of automatically. It works. So this is so wonderful. And that the human being is a complete unit. Every other creation is a complete unit, but we are complete for what? Are we complete for sense gratification, or we are complete for devotional service? We are not for sense gratification. So we said if you want to evaluate a machine and attach importance to it, you should evaluate it based on the purpose. Like if a phone is made for calls, the major purpose is for calls. So you enjoy it. But if you try to use the phone to type a book, you'll be frustrated because the buttons are too small. You go and press something and everything vanishes. All those things will happen. That used to happen when you are doing some serious text messages. You see? So we say when a machine is used for the purpose for which it is designed, and it fulfills that purpose, that means the machine is perfect, the design is perfect. That this material world is perfect, not for sense gratification, but for as a jail or for reformation. Therefore, the material world is perfect as a jail for the rebellious souls, for them to come to their senses, to knock their head until they come to their senses. And it's also a hospital, because in hospital, yes, you see all kinds of sick people, and there's hope for reformation. That's why they are there. And so this material world is perfect as a hospital to cure our madness and take us back home, but to knock out the there's nothing enjoyable. Everything I'm doing here is ending in frustration. Even death is just standing in front, looking at me, wanting to separate me from all these things I've suffered so hard to acquire. So what should I do? So to bring you to your senses so that you begin to realize that there is something higher to pursue. This is the purpose. So the human body is complete, not for sense gratification, but for fulfilling the goal of life. It's a special machine for doing devotional service. So we should never, because of sense gratification, neglect the purpose of the human body. That we as human beings will become complete when we do devotional service, as much as the hand is happy and complete and useful when it is connected to the whole body. That a cut of hand is useless. That even though it has all the components of a hand, it cannot perform any of the functions of the hand. Therefore, it is useless. It is only when it is reconnected to the whole body that it becomes useful. Okay? So devotional service is what makes us useful. That completeness is brought about by devotional service. Then automatically we become part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. And enjoyment is guaranteed. Enjoyment in Krishna consciousness is guaranteed. So, having said that, let us come to today's one. That where is my today's this? We are going to first have an overview of the Sri Upanishad itself. Now we have arrived at Sri Upanishad, Mantra 1. We said introduction was not part of Sri Upanishad, invocation was not part of Sri Upanishad. Then this is where Sri Upanishad starts. The Sri Upanishad starts from Mantra 1, but it's very consistent. The invocation is very consistent with Sri Upanishad because it clarifies, establishes the purpose. So, overview of Sri Upanishad. Mantra 1 to 3. From invocation, let us add invocation. From invocation down to mantra 3 is talking about how to live in harmony with Iswara, or the Supreme Controller. How to live in harmony. Live in harmony with Iswara. This is the first theme. And mantra 1, 2, 3 are talking about this. Live in harmony with Iswara. And if you want to obey someone, want to live in harmony with somebody, you need to know that person. How do you know the Iswara? You know the Iswara by developing spiritual vision. So mantra 4 to 8, mantra 4 to 8 is talking about the spiritual vision that enables us to understand the Iswara. Iswara means Krishna. Developing the spiritual vision that enables us to understand Iswara. This is mantra 4 to 8. When you have it in mind, you are reading, you will see it very clearly, demarcated. Then developing spiritual vision has 2 aspects. Aspect 1, cultivating the proper knowledge. That means you offer your head. Then B, developing the right disposition of the heart. That means you offer your heart. Offer your head, offer your heart. Because to understand God is not an intellectual exercise. You cannot comprehend the incomprehensible with your intellectual endeavors. If it were so, all the professors would have captured God. They would have understood God more than anyone else. But as we see them, they are the more godless, most confused people. They'll be talking on the streets, theorizing, without knowing what the theory of old age and death is. I mean, they don't know anything. They're analyzing matter without any connection with God. You see? So the intellectual approach is not enough. You offer your intelligence and then you offer your heart. You offer your heart means there should be devotion, there should be submission, there should be worship. Okay? So mantra 9 to 11. Mantra 9 to 11 talks about the right knowledge. Mantra 9 to 11, offer your head. That is cultivating the right knowledge. You know? Okay? Then mantra 12 to 14. You talk about proper heart disposition, right and wrong upasanas. Proper attitude for worshiping the Lord. Offer your heart. That is mantra 12 to 14. Then mantra 15 to 18. Say, okay, if you offer your head and your heart, just by doing that, you cannot just capture God. You can offer your head, you can offer your heart, but it is up to God to reveal himself to you. You cannot catch him just by that. That is what you need to do to draw his attention, but he has the right to reveal himself or not to receive. It's beyond what your mind and heart can even catch, but they can only bring you to the point of attracting his mercy. So the Lord has to approve your activities. Therefore, we say you have to offer prayers. Mantra 15 to 18 is telling you the type of prayers and how to offer prayers to the Lord. You have to pray to the Lord for him to reveal himself to you. So this is the overview of the Sri Upanishad. Overview, invocation to mantra 3, live in harmony with God. But to live in harmony with somebody, you need to know the person. So spiritual vision that enables you to understand Krishna or the Iswara is mantra 4 to 8. Then we say you must develop the spiritual vision, but it has two aspects. One aspect is offering your head, that means cultivating the right knowledge. And the second aspect is cultivating or developing the right disposition of hearts, the right attitude. So mantra 9 to 11 talks about cultivating the right knowledge. Mantra 12 to 14 talks about the right attitude. Then mantra 15 to 18 is talking about prayers to the Supreme Lord that can enable him to reveal himself to you. So that is it. Now, we have done the overview of the general Sri Upanishad. We come to the overview of the first section, invocation to mantra 3 itself. It has its own overview. Invocation to mantra 3 has its own overview. Then we say essentially, this aspect talk about the Isavasya principle. Isavasya principle. This Upanishad is also called Isavasya Upanishad. It's also called Isavasya Upanishad. Sri Upanishad is also called Isavasya Upanishad. And now, let us chant the first mantra, which is compassionately put on the board by His Grace. Let us chant it together, if possible. Sarvam Yat Kincha Jagatya Jagat Tenatya Tenabunjita Magrida Kasya Swedana. In fact, the invocation, if you have the book, let's chant it. Om Punamada Punamidam Puna Puna Mudasate Punasya Punamadaya Puna Eva Basisyate. If you want to do anything, chant this mantra before you do it. Anything at all you want to do, chant this mantra before you do it. Please. If you chant this mantra, you invoke the presence of Krishna immediately. The atmosphere will change, your vision will change, your understanding will change, and you will get the best of whatever you are doing. Anything you want to do, chant this mantra. Therefore, needless to say that before you leave the house for anything, or when you wake up, once you wake up, before you do anything, chant this mantra. Chant this mantra. Even before you do japa, chant this mantra. Before you take prasada, chant it secretly, if possible. If you don't want to disturb other people, you can just chant it secretly, your secret mantra. Om Punamada Punamidam Puna Puna Mudashate Punasya Punamadaya Punameva Basisyate. Chant this as a weapon. You should use it as a weapon to clear the whole universal atmosphere before you do anything. It's a secret. By the same token, this Isabasya also is another mantra you should be chanting. Anytime you want to do anything important, chant this mantra. Isabasya idam savam yakincha jagatyam jagat tenatya tenabunjita magrida kasya swidana. Translation. Everything animate or inanimate that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. One should therefore accept only those things necessary for himself, which are set aside as his quota, and one must not accept other things, knowing well to whom they belong. So let us continue with the overview of this mantra. So Isabasya principle is stated there. As we read the Bhagavad later, we see. Now, how living in harmony with the Iswara through the Isabasya principle will benefit the living entities. That is mantra 2. Work according to the Isabasya principle, live in harmony with him. How this principle, if followed, can benefit the living entity. That is mantra 2 or paragraph 2. How living entity who is in disharmony with this mantra will bring negative results. That is mantra 3. Living in harmony will bring all goodness, all positivity you are expecting. But while living in disharmony will bring the negative or opposite results. So the essential message of this session is living in harmony with Ishvara through the Isabasya principle will grant us complete benefits, and living in disharmony will hurt us. So only the Supreme Lord is actually independently perfect. Therefore, since we are dependently perfect, we must live in harmony with him if we want the maximum benefit. As much as the hand should live in harmony with the whole body, the hand should be connected to the body and serve the body. Then the hand will get the maximum benefit. everything belongs to the Iswara. So if you look at the word for word translation, you will see say Isa by the Lord. Basyam controlled. Idam, this. Idam, invocation, many idams. This, when they say this, they are talking about this particular universe. They are talking about the universe or this principle of Isabasian. Sarvam, all, and whatever. So you should on your own try to memorize this particular sloka of Isabasian Medam Sarvam, or the mantra 1 of the Sri Upanishad, because it is one of your memorization verses also. You should memorize it, and you should memorize the translation also. Okay? Memorize it, memorize this translation. So, overview of the purports. Now, the purports, the first 2 paragraphs of the purports of the mantra 1 is talking about the glory of the Vedic knowledge, the glories of the Vedic knowledge. Paragraph 3 to 4 is talking about how the Lord is the proprietor of everything. The 4th paragraph, the 1st to 4th paragraph talk about 2 lines, the first 2 lines of the mantra. The first 4 paragraphs is talking about the first 2 lines of the mantra. Okay? First 2 lines of the mantra. That's what it's talking about. Then paragraph 5 to 8 is talking about how the Lord has allocated quota for everyone. Everything has allocated some quota, what they should do, what they should eat, how. Quota. That there is quota for nature, quota from nature, quota for the animals, quota for the humans, and our position on earth. Okay? So quota system, mantra 5 to 8. Talk about the quota system. Then mantra 9 and 10. Quota within our diets. Though before then, Srila Prabhupada also talked about, he compared the communists and the capitalists, that they are fighting over stolen properties, and that communism cannot make you happy independently, and capitalism cannot make you happy independently. That those who are practicing it are also not happy. That both the capitalists and the communists, they must follow the principle of Isavasya. Because the capitalists are not happy, the communists are not happy, and their followers are not happy too. Why? Because Krishna is omitted. God is omitted. God is not in the center. So if they all follow the Savasya principle, they will be happy once again. So this is it. Mantra 11, do not become proud of being a vegetarian. Just your quota of being a vegetarian alone is not enough. That it is vegetarian food that is first offered to the Lord. Which become prasada that actually purifies you. So our focus is not just on vegetarianism, but vegetarianism plus recognizing the position of the Supreme Absolute Truth, and in accordance with the Savasya. That's what makes us happy. So having said this, we are going to divide, or we are going to classify you. We are going to put the students into different classrooms. One classroom is called Yudhishthira. Prabhu, please take notes. One classroom is called Yudhishthira. The second classroom is called Bhimasen or Bhima. The third classroom is called Arjuna. The fourth classroom is called Nakula. And the fifth classroom is Sahadev.
Oh, we are 14 students here. So how many we want to be in the group?
There are 14 students, okay? Then just divide them, some 2, some 3, into, okay, divide them into two groups, 2 in a group. The last people you add, create 6 groups. Create 6 groups. The last group, you can call it Krishna. Krishna and the Pandavas.
Prabhu, can you hear me, Prabhu?
Yeah.
Quick one. If you make them into 2 groups,
Yeah, 2 in the
not
group.
to gossip arena. Why can't you make 3?
Make it 3.
If you go put 2
Okay.
friends inside group, they go abandon the thing when you give them help.
It's true, Sha, it's true. But okay, make them into 3 in a group. 3 in a group. That means 4 groups. Then the last 2 can be 1 group also. Three times 4. So what do you mean? That means you can make only 4 groups. You make 4 groups. Prabhu,
4 groups, yes.
make 4 groups. Okay, make 4 groups. Then the first group is going to study the first 3 paragraphs. The first groups, any of the group you like, you make first. We study the first 3
Should I put them inside group?
paragraphs.
Should I put them inside group? Or how do you want to go? They should choose their group by themselves. Should I put them inside the group or they should choose the group?
Put them inside the group.
Okay.
You are going into your classrooms. We are creating classrooms for you. You think we cannot create classrooms? We are creating classrooms for you.
And you call you said that classroom, that one is Yudhishthira.
Oh, since there are going to be 4 now, we have to look for another name for them, or just give them the name. Anyone that's left out, we can leave him.
Okay. Okay, Yudhishthira group.
Okay, they can still be 5. Prabhu. 3, then the last 2 we also make 1 group.
Okay. So you want
the 5 Pandavas.
What? Okay, okay. It's going to be 3 in a group. Oh.
3 in a group, yes.
Okay.
4 groups of 3, then 1 group of 2.
Okay.
Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakul, and Sahadev. These are the groups.
Okay. We are going on.
The first group should study the first 3 paragraphs.
That is a Bhima, and the 3rd one will be Arjun.
Arjun, yes. 3 paragraphs, please.
You can continue to explain to them what they need to do before I finish dividing them.
Okay. In fact, no, 3 paragraphs are too much for them. Make it 2 paragraphs. Each group to study 2 paragraphs. Paragraph 1 and 2 for 1 group. But you are going to name the group. So when you name the group, Yudhishthira, paragraph 1 and 2, Bhima, paragraph 3 and 4, Arjuna, paragraphs 5 and 6, Nakula, paragraphs 7 and 8,
so
Sahadev, 9 and 10.
Let me tell you how they are inside the group. So Yudhishthira, we have Baula Swapriti. Please take notes.
Okay.
Baula Swa, are you hearing me?
Yes.
Marvelous and Surya Narayan. You are in Yudhishthira group. If you add your name, so just indicate by open your mic and give a sign. Paulaswa, Marvelous, and Suruyan, are you there?
Hare Krishna, we are here.
So you are in Yudhishthira group, okay?
Okay.
Then we have the Bhima group. We have Bhavananda, Gopi Priya, and Revati. Okay? Are you? That is Bhima. Are you okay?
Okay.
Then we have Arjuna group. We have Jamastamin, Samsung. Who is Samsung? And the Vedic Reminis, Sabi.
Samsung is bright.
Okay.
Bhakti bright Samsung.
The Vedic Reminis. Okay?
Galaxy, this Galaxy 14. Bhakti bright.
Okay, Bhakti Bright, your name is there. Your name is already there, but there's another Samsung. SM A725F.
Okay, so the last group, Nakul. Bright, Steven Govinda, and Hare Krishna Africa.
Are you sure? What does Sahadev?
Where is Sahadev? I'm not seeing Sahadev.
But I thought you said the people are 12 or so, or 14.
So have you explained what they need to do?
Yeah. What they need to do is this: is to read your paragraphs. First, Yudhishthira group is paragraph 1 and 2.
Yudhishthira group, please take note.
Paragraph 1 and 2. Bhimasin group 3 and 4, paragraphs 3 and 4. Arjuna's group, paragraph 5 and 6. Nakula's group, paragraph 7 and 8. And Sahadev group, paragraph 9 and 10. The other 2 paragraphs, leave them for us, for me.
So how many minutes you want to give them now?
They will use 10 minutes to study the group, to study the paragraph, extract the essential points,
Okay.
and make them into capsules. At most 3 capsules.
And they will pick somebody that will.
That means condense the essential points into just concise capsules, just one sentence. Then a group representative will now come and present. After the first 10 minutes, we stop. Then group representatives will now present to us. And while he's presenting, his group members can compliment him. If he forgets anything, they can add to it. So they are all there to present complimentarily, but there will be one major presenter.
Are we going now?
Let's go right away. Okay, you were able to make only 4 groups?
Yes.
And they're only, okay, 3, okay. Okay, it's okay. Samsung, are you Balalila? Are you hearing us, Samsung? Balalila, you are not hearing us, eh? Say something.
We will not hear you.
He's not hearing us, okay. We'll solve the problem.
They're already in their group now.
Let me just call him. You should take note of the time, okay? Once it's 2 minutes or 3 minutes, you should remind them that they have 3 minutes left. Stephen, are you in a group? Hare Krishna Bala. It's like you are not hearing us. Your audio is.
Stephen, you are not in a group.
Prabhu, I'm not sure what is going on right now because.
Okay, you are not in a group.
Yes.
I can see you not join. You didn't join the group when they asked you to join.
Oh, okay.
You're supposed to join the Nakul group.
Okay, please, how do I do that?
Okay, let me move you into another group. Let me move you into Arjuna group.
Okay,
it's
thank you.
In the Nakul group, they're not very active.
Okay, then please, I'd like to know the chapters, the paragraph.
They will tell you there now. You can join. Okay. I've not seen anything to join. Join.
Okay.
So that is how we roll it, Babu. Is that Prema, Babu?
Hare Krishna.
I said that is
wonderful, Prabhu.
That is how we roll it.
Thank you very much. And also later, you have to teach us how to
use it.
How to create backgrounds. Salika promised before, but you should teach me how to create backgrounds, put different backgrounds.
Prabhu, their timing remaining 5 minutes. So
only 5 minutes?
You can go inside the group and you can join them and tell them, say, okay, let me go and tell them one by one, say remain 5 minutes.
You ask them if they need more time, you can add like 2 minutes more. You can add 2 minutes.
And they enter their group one by one, go they tell them. So I join a junior group.
Give them 2 more minutes if they want it. Dima group is not talking anything. They are off. Dima group, they're not talking.
Just need to break so that they will not rush the push. So makes it come down the stomach. They're already taking juice. Huh? They're taking juice. We're taking juice. Zobo. Hibiscus flower. Yes, I'm the one managing the group. We divided them into groups. They are doing some program in the groups. Yeah, the Caitanya Prema Prabhu is the one teaching. Caitanya Prema Prabhu is the one teaching. Just helping to operate the about 14. Yes, 40 children. So should I call them back, or Prabhu? We want to give them 1 minute.
Give them 2 more minutes, please.
Okay. This young one, they're very inspired. They're very fired up. The young ones, they are very fired up. I think they will take it very serious.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, why are you not in the class now? What's the problem now? This thing is the main thing that is going to I think the time is supposed to expire by now. How can I prep?
Is it not enough?
It's enough now, please.
Okay. So in 60 seconds, all of them will come back.
Okay.
When I was in their group, many of them were inactive. I don't know whether whether they discussed later.
That's interesting. Hare Krishna. Now, representative of each group to present Yudhishthira, starting with Yudhishthira. Kavikanapura.
Yes, Prabhu.
Have you removed the rooms?
Yeah, they already they are back already. We have Prabhu Laswa printing in Yudhishthira, Marvelous, and Surya Narayan. They should present.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So group one, that is Yudhishthira group, we are presenting on the paragraph 2 and the paragraph 1 and 2. So for the paragraph 1 and 2, we got some impact from the paragraph. That is knowledge that comes down through a disciplic succession of spiritual master, beginning with the Lord himself. And also, words spoken by the Lord are called Aparuseya, which means it is not delivered by an ordinary man. Because when you check with the disciplic succession, it begins from the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, that is Krishna. Then from there, he imparted the knowledge to Brahma. Then it came down to his sons, Narada Muni, and from there, Narada Muni also instructed it to others. Also, we got another impact, that is the 4th defect of man. That is, he must commit mistakes, he must cheat others, he must be illusion and the others. And on the paragraph 2 also, we got to know that the Supreme Lord is Punam, which means that he is all perfect. And also he's not under the most of material nature. So how can one who is perfect be under the most of material nature? Rather, we are the ones under or illusion under the most of material nature. So he controls the most of material nature. And also the Upanishad is one of the part of the proprietorship of all things and exists within the universe. It's coming from the how do you call it? One of the 4 Vedas, that is, we have the Rig Veda, the Atha Veda, and the Raju Veda. So that is what we also got from the paragraph 2. So that is a little of our presentation from the impact we got from the test.
We are not giving time for the presentation.
The time for presentation is 5 minutes.
Okay.
So, any complementary points?
Okay. Yeah, so my other group members will try to add something to it also.
They are not adding now. That means that's okay.
Okay. So you can ask the 2 other members a question, Marvelous and Suru Narayan. Okay, Suru Narayan who gave Baulaswa pretty.
Yeah.
Or the other people can ask them question. Because if not, some people will just be hiding others, the person who can speak, and they will not read.
Okay. So, okay. Anyway, for us to move ahead, as according to the presenter, the Vedas are aparuseya. Aparuseya means they are words spoken by the Supreme Lord Himself. Aparuseya. So the words spoken by the Lord, they are called aparuseya, meaning they are infallible as the Lord. They are beyond imperfections. They are not spoken by human beings. They are delivered by the all-perfect person. That every living being of this mundane world, we have 4 defects. We have the propensity to cheat, we have imperfect senses, we have the propensity to be illusioned, and we make mistakes. Therefore, we cannot give perfect knowledge. But because the Lord is beyond all imperfections, only Him can give perfect knowledge. And His words are not affected by the vessel. It's called aparuseya. So the Vedas are directly coming from the Supreme Lord, who is aparuseya and who is beyond all imperfections, and whose words are aparuseya. That was what they got from paragraph 1, and that is true. Then in paragraph 2, the Lord being Puna, is all perfect. There is no chance of Him being subjected to the laws of nature. But as human beings, or all created beings are subjected to the laws of nature, and that the Sri Upanishad is part of the Yajur Veda. There are 4 Vedas, main Vedas. One of them is Yajur, Rig, Sama, Atava, and Yajur. And that the Yajur Veda focuses on the proprietorship of God. And this Upanishad is the essential, nectar extracted from the Yajur Veda. So, his Upanishad is part of the Vedas. Okay? So, these are the points they got from there. And is there any question on that? Does anyone have a question on these points? Yes, Bright. At this point, everyone should off his speaker until you are called upon, your group is called upon to speak. Bright, please off your speaker.
Okay.
Samsung, off your speaker too. Okay, then the next group, Bimasing group, you should clap for the first group. They have captured the essence so much that nobody else has anything to say. Nobody has questions to ask, and that means they have assimilated the points. The capsules that were brought have been swallowed and internalized. So thank you very much for your good work. Now we go to the second group, Bhima. Have you broken your fast?
I've broken
Have you
it.
broken your fast?
Yes.
No.
If you are not broken, you can throw some grains inside your mouth even as you are there. No problem. You are permitted to do so. Throw some grains. We are not going to prosecute you. Okay, the second group, please. We are calling on the second group. Group. Come on board and present your points.
We have Babananda, Gopi, Priya, and Revati.
Wow. These people that are in the same place. So they should present fast.
So that is why when I went into their group, their mic were mute. It means that they were inside the same room. Okay.
They were inside the same room. Oh yeah. Carry on. We are not hearing you. Go be prayer. We are not hearing you. Go be prayer, Prabhu. Okay. You see them relocating by locating.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare.
So the third paragraph, it was talking about the energies of the Supreme Lord. And it was describing that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the controller of everything that exists. And he has two potencies, two energies, which is the Apara Prakriti and the Para Prakriti. And it's talking about the Apara Prakriti. The Apara Prakriti consists of the 5 gross elements and the 3 subtle elements. So the gross elements, they are water, fire, air, and ether. Mind, intelligence, and the force issue.
Okay.
When we come to Prakriti, the Para Prakriti, that's the superior energy of the Lord, which are the living beings. And it was talking about the Supreme Personality of God's potency. That now it will be all famous. He possesses the most beauty, knowledge, and
okay, your voice has been cracking, but any of the other group members have something to add to what he has presented?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. It's about the opulence of the Supreme Lord.
Okay.
The Supreme Lord Krishna, because Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he is the controller of this universe. He exhibits the power to control this universe, and all wealth is coming from the Supreme Lord himself, Krishna, and fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. So this opulence is exhibited by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This shows that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the controller. He is the ultimate goal of life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. So in a nutshell, he said, okay, you want to add anything? Okay. In the absence of addition, then let's go on. First, he talked about paragraph 3, talk about the para prakriti. If your mouth is moving, we will not hold you responsible for anything right now because you need to break your fast, so you can shake your mouth, no problem. But be attentive at the same time. You should learn how to do 2 things at the same time. I'm not teaching you that too. Okay, para prakriti and apara prakriti discussed in paragraph 3 that there is nothing in the universe which does not belong to either the para prakriti or the apara prakriti. There is nothing in the universe that does not belong to either the inferior energy of the Lord or the superior energy of the Lord. And therefore, everything is under the proprietary rights of the Supreme Being. This is the point. Everything at all. Generally, the concept of proprietorship fascinates everyone. I own land. I need more land. All landowners, they need more lands. You buy one land, you want to buy a second one. It's fascinating to be a proprietor. And that's why the capitalists and the communists, they start after the World War, they conquer places and they want to conquer other places. They want to conquer the whole world. Till one person wants to put on the whole world under his control. This is the fascinating nature of that sense of proprietorship. If it is not properly channeled, it degenerates into a sense of possessiveness, greed, and other. And that is what we are suffering in this world now. Everybody wants to gather everybody's property and colonize it as its own property and deprive the others simultaneously. So it's very dangerous. The sooner we know that the Supreme Lord is the proprietor of everything, the better for us. And as he quoted in the Bhagavad Gita 7:4, that Bhumi apona lobayu kamano buddhi evacha ahankara itiyame bina prakriti astada earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and force ego. All together, these 8 constitute Krishna's separated energy. Everything you see in existence is a transformation of Krishna's separated energy physically. But in the next verse, verse 5 of the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Aparayam itaturayam prakritim vidime param jiva bhuta mahabhao yayedam daryate jagat. This is a memorization verse. So try to know it. The translation is, besides this, Almighty Armed Arjun, there is another superior energy of mind, which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. So, both the living entity and the inferior nature all belong to Krishna because they are all transformations of Krishna energy. And everything you see in existence is a transformation of Krishna's energy. So Krishna is actually the owner of everything. This point is established in this particular paragraph of the Sri Upanishad. Okay? Just like if you see the speech of a person, the speech of a person is an energy of the person. Understand? The transformations you see in this material world, they are energies of the Supreme Lord. You see, if you trace the speech, you will get to a source, the energetic source. And that source of everything is Krishna. Okay? All energies belong to and they are coming from an energetic source. And the supreme energetic source is Krishna. So Krishna is both the source of both the material and the spiritual energies. So everything is under it. You see? So experientially speaking, someone may say, this and that belong to me. But how long? How long do we can we hold on to whatever we think that belongs to us? We can hold on to the things we claim as long as death or time permits. If time permits, we can hold on to things, including our phones, including our bodies. What to talk of other properties? We can only hold on to these things as long as time permits. Time is an energy from Krishna. Time is from Krishna. Time is Krishna. So everything is taken away at its own time. And therefore, nobody actually has proprietorship over anything in this world. Everything belongs to God. Therefore, it is called false sense of proprietorship. Somebody fighting over land, killing somebody over land, and this is sense of false proprietorship. False sense of possessiveness. That is it. Our ownership of anything is transitory. Why? Because the Lord, the actual owner, will take it from us in the form of time. Okay? So we are never owners. We are like tenants in a body. We are tenants. And we, the tenants, as Krishna said, apariyamitas to and prakriti vidime panam. Jiva bhutam havaho. We, the living entities, we are also his energies. So we don't have anything. We don't even own ourselves. We are just tenants who are temporarily occupying this body. And whatever we acquire in relation to the body is temporary. It will be taken away in due course of time. Okay? We can be evicted by the landlord. If you are a tenant anywhere, the landlord can decide to evict you if he's not satisfied with your conduct. Or when your tenureship expires, when your time of rentage expires, he can evict you, so you get out of the body. So we are never the actual owner of everything. Krishna owns everything. Then in paragraph 4, the Krishna being the absolute truth, absolute personality of God, has been the complete person. He has the complete and perfect intelligence to adjust everything by his different potencies. And that is what is happening. Everything is working under his control. Okay? That's why in that paragraph is considered, it is compared to fire. The Supreme Lord is like fire. And everything organic or inorganic is compared with the heat and light. Heat and light are transformations of fire. They are energies of fire. The fire is the energetic source, while the heat and light, they are the energies. You see? The fire distributes its energy in the form of heat and light. And likewise, the Lord displays his energy in different ways. And he remains the ultimate controller, sustainer, dictator, and everything. He is full of all potencies, the knower of everything, the benefactor of everyone, and is full of all inconceivable opulences, power, knowledge, wealth, fame, beauty, strength, and anything attractive is actually coming from him. You see? So only the Lord exists. And we also exist when we are connected to serving him, as our hands become meaningful when connected to serving him. Vedic reminiscence. Vedic reminiscence. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Vedic reminiscence. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandava pranams.
Pranams, all glories to you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Okay, you may keep on doing what you are doing. Controlling the wheel. You are a controller of the wheel, but you are a temporary controller of the wheel. So control very well right now, because this is a chance. Anytime.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
anytime
Prabhu.
the supreme controller can say, oh, no, it's enough. I want to control by myself. Okay, Hare Krishna, thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So that is it. Logic can help to establish that there is a supreme controller or there is a controller somewhere, but logic itself cannot actually comprehend the Lord. So even though logic cannot comprehend the Lord itself, it can give a hint that there is a supreme controller. That supreme controller is Krishna. Then we go to paragraph 5. Paragraph 5 and 6. Arjuna, come on board and present. Come and shoot your arrows. The group called Arjuna, please, we are waiting for you. Hare Krishna, representatives of the group called Arjuna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
There is the Arjun group, and we are to meditate on the 5 and 6 paragraph. So in the 5 and 6 paragraph, we are being taught that we should practice renunciation. That's we should be intelligent enough to know that except the Lord, no one is proprietorship of anything. And an example was given, like the cow. The cow feed on grass and straws, but and produce milk. All right.
Carry on. You are muted. You are muted. We are not hearing you again.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. So the paragraph says, we are being taught to practice renunciation, and we must be intelligent enough to know, except the Lord, we cannot claim proprietorship of anything. An example was given, like the cow produces milk by feeding on grass and straws, but she does not take the milk, or she does not feed on the milk. So also, we must be satisfied with what is given to us, and not not consider to whom things we possess actually belong. We should know what belongs to us and what does not belong to us, and does include everything that's in this world. We should use everything we have to. We should use everything in the service of the Lord, and not claim ownership or be the enjoyer of things that's being given to us. And also, for instance, all the materials that's used in building a house, we can only use what is being given to us to manufacture things, to produce things, but we can't claim the ownership of the original materials. So I think Sri Upanishad is being thought about this whole proprietorship and how to manage everything that is being given to us, including our intelligence, our mind, and even our body. How we should use it in the service of the Lord. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, complimentary points. Other group members.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. This is Mr. Bright. Here you do mention that everything provided by using by the Lord's commandment. And I want to ask, how will you know that you are using every provision that the Lord Krishna has been provided for human beings by his commandment? I don't know how, if you answer, if I ask the question, or if you understand my question. I said he has mentioned that every provision here has been given out by our Lord Krishna, and he asks us to use it. Being a being in the nature of life, and I want to know, I'm asking, how do you know that what you are using it under his commandment, under his way, his direction, or his directive? That is my question.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, you must understand the Sabasya principle. That this is what the Sabasya principle is talking about. That since the Supreme Lord is the owner of everything, when things are used for his satisfaction, then you will not attract sinful reaction. But when you use those things for sense gratification, ignoring him, you attract sinful reaction. So before we answer your question well, let us analyze these paragraphs. Let me clarify, let me add to what has been said already. That having known that God is the proprietor of everything, wants to only accept those things which are set aside as his quota. This is the quota system. This particular paragraph, 2 paragraphs are talking about the quota system. Everyone has a quota. Quota means what is allotted for you. And to clarify this, the example of the cow is given. Now, the quota of the cow is to produce milk. And the milk the cow produces is for others. The children of the cow can take little, but it is so abundantly produced that it is actually for human consumption. It's for others. The cow itself does not drink the milk that it produces. In other words, the principle of living is to live for others. The river does not drink its water. The tree does not eat the fruits that it produces. It's for others. The principle of living is to live for others. And living according to your quota means living according to the natural design. The cow is naturally designed to eat just grass and produce milk for others. So that example is clearly given here. Okay? That this principle of living, if you follow it, you're actually acting in obedience to the Isabasia principle. If you want to know whether you're acting in obedience to the Isabasia principle, if you are acting according to your own quota, then you know you are living according to the Isabasia principle. This is the answer to your question. Later, we are going to see the quota for human beings. And the quota is digested in a way that the quota in terms of eating, what human beings should eat. If you look at the anatomical structure of human being, you will know its quota. Like the dental structure of the human being, study it. It is God that designed it. It is not human beings. It is God's design. Human beings are given molars and premolars and some incisors also. But generally, we know that the molars and premolars are used for grinding grains. The incisors for tearing flesh. The lion does not have molars and premolars. So by that design, the lion is not meant to be a vegetarian. The lion should use the incisor to tear flesh and eat. And when the lion does it, it incurs no sinful reaction because it's following the natural design. The human beings are given molars for grinding grains. Though somebody can argue that then human beings are supposed to be omnivores. They can eat everything. But to some extent, they eat different varieties of things. But if you look at the design properly, you will see that the human being is designed for eating non-flesh. Why? Because when eating takes place in the mouth, it is transferred through the alimentary canal, the intestine. The intestine of man is like 12 or 13 times the length of the body. 12 or 13 times the length of the body. That means it's meant for digesting, food that can easily be digested, like vegetables, fruits, nuts. But if flesh is sent in there, it is going to take a long time to get to its destination. And along the line, decomposition can take place and some diseases will arise. Therefore, the lion or the flesh-eating animals, their alimentary canal, their intestine is designed is only about 3 times the length of the body. Only 3 times the length of the body, whereas that of man is about 13 times. Just like any other herbivorous animal. It's about 13 times the length of the body. It's meant for digesting vegetables and fruits. But the lion's one is only 3 times the length of the body. That means it's meant to digest flesh. And the concentration of hydrochloric acid in the system of the lion is more than 20 times that of the one in the human being. So the digestive system is designed by the supreme designer that human beings should eat more vegetables and fruits, and the lion should eat flesh. And you will not see lion coming to struggle with you to eat your vegetables. Though the mystical lion knows some herbs. When they fall sick, they can identify some herb and eat it. But that is not their food. So if a human being lives according to the design, his natural design, then he's living in obedience to the Isabasia principle. Okay? So this is the answer to your question. To live in obedience to the Isabasia principle is to live according to your natural design. And this is what the human beings are supposed to do. They are designed to be vegetarians. And we say to make it transcendental, becoming a vegetarian itself is not enough. You should recognize the supremacy of the Lord and the presence of the Lord. So the vegetarian food is first offered to the Lord before being eaten. Therefore, it is where the devotees, human beings are supposed to be prasadamarians. Prasadamarians. That means those who eat prasadam. So some people need to say Krishnatarians. Mr. Bright, please off your yes, very good. The human beings are supposed to be prasadamarians. Some people say Krishnatarians, but vegetarians are called vegetarians because they eat vegetables. Prasadamarians are called prasadamarians because they eat prasadam, the Lord, the food that is first offered to the Lord. But does anyone eat Krishna? So why should we say we are Krishnatarians? So the Prabhupada did not say we are Krishnatarians. We don't eat Krishna. We are prasadamarians. We eat prasadam, not Krishna. So if it is only prasadam that you are eating, then you are acting to the laws of God, the commandments of God, as you're asking. You are acting according to the Sabbasia principle. But if you are acting otherwise, you are acting in disobedience to the Sabbasia principle. And the consequences are horrendous. They are spelled out. Plenty consequences, negative consequences. Mantra 3 is all about that. Mantra 2 is that if you act according to in obedience to the Sabbasia principle, what is the result? Mantra 3 is that if you act in disobedience, what is the result? So we are going to treat the two of them tomorrow. So for now, this is where we are. That everybody has a quota. The cow produces milk but does not drink it. The tree produces fruit but does not eat the fruit itself. It's for others. And by the same token, the lion eats flesh and not grass. And these are examples. And to establish the fact that both para-prakriti and apara-prakriti belongs to Krishna, the example of a house is given. If somebody thinks he has built a house, all the bricks, all the material, the ions, everything that is used for building a house, they are transformation of nature. They are transformation of nature. And nature belongs to Krishna. So you who build the house, who is a spiritual part and parcel, who is the tenant of the physical body, and the ingredient that you combine, does not make you, they don't make you the owner or the supreme owner of the ingredients. No. And the example is given for how a laborer cannot claim to be the proprietor of a thing just because he put the things together, he coupled the things together, therefore he has become the owner. The ingredients belong to Krishna, and you and your ability belong to Krishna. So both material, inferior nature and superior nature belong to Krishna. So in actuality, it is a false sense of proprietorship to think that anything belongs to anybody. Everything actually belongs to Krishna. Thank you very much. Bhagavad Gita, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, Dhanava Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. From these two paragraphs, in order to understand that we all have our quota in this world, all the living entities. But we all could understand that the lower species of life, they are able to execute their duty and also discharge from the result of their duty. And when it comes to we, the human being, when we do something, it's like we become attached to it, and it's very hard for us to detach ourselves. So how can we, the human beings who are at the highest level of this living entity, learn to detach ourselves from the result of our activities? Because when somebody is elected as in a high position, when he does something, all the time he's attached to the result that he cannot even let go. Sometimes we hold on to the result that we don't want to even let any other person come and control or come and then take in charge of his office that has been given to him. We are attached to it. Sometimes it can even become bloody. So how can we learn to detach from all these things and then also accept how the lower species of life are accepting that when they do something, they detach from the result and then they move on with their life? Hare Krishna. Oh, please, I'm done with my question. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Where's the Prema, Prabhu? Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Which time, Prema?
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept me to speak the obeisances. Glory to Srila Prabhupada. Chaitanya Prema Prabhu is coming back. Kavi can approve Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, you can go ahead and conduct with the student. Let the last person do his presentation. Chaitanya Prema will join you soon.
Okay. Hare Krishna, who is giving the next presentation? Who's supposed to give the next presentation? Hello?
I think the next one is number 6. We just go with number 5 now.
Okay.
Paragraph 6. Paragraph 6 and 7.
That is the last people, Abi.
Now the last people should be paragraph 8 and 9, 9 and 10. That is my paragraph.
Okay, so is the one before you?
Yeah, it's the one before me.
Thank you, Prabhu. So where are the Arjuna's group? Are they the one? Or who are supposed to be given?
I don't know, but I think we have just done with paragraph 5 and 6 now. So paragraph 7 and 8 will be the next one now. Then the last group is paragraph 9 and 10.
Okay. Because they say Prabhuji is having some engagements. So let the next paragraph, please. Can you come out and give your presentation?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Please, if the next one are not ready, can we take our own paragraph?
Please
9
go ahead.
and 10?
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yes, we were asked to study paragraph 9 and 10 and give some capsule of it. I just have a 2 statement here to conclude, to do a summary, which he has said that he said human beings are not means to quarrel with each other. Yes, it's true. We were created to love one another and keep our Lord Krishna's commandment. We were not created to fight with each other. Rather, we were created to teach one another the law of Krishna. So the next one in paragraph 10, he said, not being a vegetarian that could make you to transgress the sin of the law of the nature. You don't think yourself that you are a vegetarian or a devotee, that you said you are all, but to know why you are a devotee, to do the work as a devotee, to follow his footsteps and make everything properly the way he asks you to do, and recognize him deeply in your absent and present. Not until when you see your master or your tutor, you behave as if you knew Krishna. But when you are absent, hidden place and outside, you should remain the same. The man in you should come out. You should always speak who you are. Not to be like our forefathers that was in Genesis, that were created, Adam and Eve. The instruction was made that let's not eat the fruit of the center of the garden. But when the serpent comes, he has to convince them that they fall victim. They were not a man of themselves. They were only a man of themselves when the master was around. But when the master was not there, the glory of the master left them. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Salika Prabhu. Prabhu? Salika Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu, please, the class supposed to end when?
It's supposed to be ending by now. Chaitanya Prema said he wants to extend for 30 minutes. I don't know.
Since he's not around, they can continue tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, since Prabhu is not around, they can continue tomorrow. So sorry for the break in transmission. I think Prabhu has to attend to some urgent matter. So he's supposed to be your rightful facilitator. So since he has something to do now, I'm very sure it's very pressing. So we can continue tomorrow.
He has a data challenge. He's reloading and instead he said he
okay, so maybe we can continue tomorrow. Prabhuji will round off this particular topic tomorrow and start the next one. Okay? Are we okay?
We are okay for that.
Okay. Because I don't want to start coming from my own angle and start bringing another, let the driver continue to drive.
Okay.
So,
Hare Krishna.
You're tomorrow, okay? Yeah.
Thank you.